This is Brownie's Podcast.
You're listening to Brownie's Podcast.
Yes, you are. Yes, we're all back in the studio.
Dear Jesus.
Brand Brown.
Yes.
Campbell Brand Brown is in front of me. Jonathan
That's
Brown
how
is
we'll be
next to him.
addressed.
Beck is here. Brody's here. Literally the whole team's together, and it's been a dog's age since that's happened. How are you, Campbell?
Brand Brown has had a nice week. Thank you very much. I've built on my brand.
Yeah.
And that's all you want to do.
Brand Brown, apparently it was your birthday over the weekend.
Yeah, it was. Had some drinks with some friends. I surround myself with good people, apart from Mondays and Thursdays on this podcast.
Did it get a bit loose? Did a particular particular legal identity? Yeah, just carry on into the wee hours of the small morning.
Yes, he did. Often I don't go out without my lawyer present with me, so he made sure he stuck around till the very end.
He's a bit like Pangy with his personal physician.
Yeah.
Brown Dog likes to go with his personal lawyer for litigation. But
Hey.
what about Father's Day? How was Father's
Happy
Day?
Father's Day to both of you.
Thank you. Yeah, nice day.
Absolutely. Be a little Macy surprised. Bro, little Macy was a bit emotional last night. I wondered why. It was because she was tired. She's not used to getting up. She set her alarm for 4 a.m. yesterday morning because she wanted to write me a little note and just
beautiful.
give me a little package, but she wanted to beat me up knowing that I'm an early starter, especially up north. So I walked out of the bedroom at 6 in the morning. And there's little post-it notes setting a trail.
Oh, that's lovely.
Were you nude?
Beautiful little trail.
Were you nude?
No, I had the boxer shorts
Yeah, yeah.
on.
Good question.
Yeah.
Always wear boxer shorts. I did get some boxer shorts too for my
Are they
Father's Day
satin
present.
Looney Tunes ones?
Yes.
Do you remember those?
Oh, yeah, brother. That's what Kingy wears. In my mind,
Boxer shorts.
David King wears
what
those
Kingy wears.
specifically for some reason. Anyway, keep going.
What's going on in your headphones?
Keep going.
Anyway, so I got to it. Well, little Mim was hiding behind the table and chairs, all waiting for my reaction. So I was all excited. It was great to see her. Obviously, she was a bit weary because she'd been up for a couple of hours. But then I opened it up, and it makes your heart melt, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I open up. So little notes, little post-it notes in there, and they were all tied up with a beautiful bow.
Yes.
Each single one of them. So throughout the day, I just opened one after the other just to make my heart melt a bit more. So, and it was all very, very good stuff that I was very proud of. Like stuff like this. I would have never been able to play games without you. Because she loves the footy.
Yeah.
She's a big left footer.
That's nice. More.
I love him so much. Oh, I love that. Dad always helps me. Another one. He is a football legend. Speaking the truth.
Beautiful.
I love the way he helps me and tells me not to quit.
There you go.
That's good. That's
Inspirational.
what we do. Dad is super amazing.
Jeez, a lot of
I
these.
love him more than the world.
Wow.
The world?
I thought, this is going magnificently. And then he goes, Dad's superpower is fixing my sores.
Fixing her sores.
So that caught me a little bit off guard. But anyway, I've got a superpower. I didn't realise I had that superpower, but fixing sores. Out of all the things I've done, that's really stood out in little Mim's mind.
Hey,
so there you go.
Is it true for Father's Day? I'm asking both of you dads. You really just want no kid time. Is that the best gift you can get?
Well,
Freedom.
Freedom is the thing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I thought Braveheart was ahead of his time when he yelled out freedom at the English.
That's why I did go for him. But I tell you what, Dog, we'll get to it soon. But I think you should wear that. He's a football legend after his mighty performance last Wednesday night.
Mate,
With that mark of the year.
that's Becky. I can't believe it, dog.
Yeah,
Brand.
Brand Brown, it's helped. You know, I'm in talks.
Yeah, with who?
Kazali footy cards. NASA.
Because of the height. Sorry.
Mate, you know how often that's been referred to, though, by...
Why'd you think you turned your mic off accidentally, brother?
you know
we go.
how often that's...
There we go.
Is that on?
There you go.
Keep talking. What's going on here?
Keep talking, mate.
How often that mark has been referred to from mates.
It's
And people on Instagram, people I haven't heard from for ages, have just wanted to reach out and get in contact with me to tell me about Campbell Brown's mark on Wednesday night.
if we played footy in an era where there wasn't a lot of social media,
Yeah.
you imagine, you know, your mark against the Hawks back in 2000 and and two, like how viral that would have gone.
Well, I would have had my own brand.
Yeah.
Before brand was a thing.
Petrarca.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Hey, we're going to get to all the Petrarca stuff, which someone needs to explain to me. Jesus Christ.
I'm that confused.
We're calling America to speak to our man, Brad Blanks, who's at the World Hot Dog Eating Championship contest, and it's happening right now.
It's again, and Kobayashi against Chestnut.
Well,
Joey
big.
Chestnut's going to be massive.
Very big.
You know, it's like Tyson.
Kobayashi, he was the fictional character in The Usual Suspects.
Yeah, he
wasn't
was, man. Was he? I think he might have been.
Yeah, Koza Sose's lawyer.
Yeah, Kobayashi.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. That's bloody good recall, dog.
Mate, I remember stuff that I should never remember, and then I can't
That's a
do
sponge.
basic maths.
Hey, just a bit of sizzle for the hot dog chat. Apparently this year, John, you can't dip your hot dog in water for lubrication.
No, that's right. So we're going to Blanksy to talk about that because
You're going to raw dog it.
there's been a little bit. Well, it's not cheating because some contests you're allowed to
Yeah.
make it a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah.
But obviously they've got a raw dog at this time, which is going to slow things down. Which Kobayashi, last time he was in events, was it? Sorry, Chestnut.
Chestnut, brother.
76 hot dogs and the buns in 10 minutes.
Things are so much harder and more difficult, not as fun without lubrication.
Yeah.
Exactly.
that's right,
Well
exactly.
said, mate. Absolutely, really well said. Hey, would you smash some Metamucil before or after doing the hot dog challenge? Because that's a lot of thickness in your intestines.
I think you can only have the Metamucil tablets.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think you could have the
For volume.
milk. Yeah, exactly right. Because if
Right.
you have the milky stuff, I think that fills up your gut. But
Right.
geez, it'll be challenging. You had a crack at a dog?
Never. Nah.
Well, looking forward to chatting to Blanksy about that.
I get indigestion. You know, like they would have indigestion, wouldn't they?
Absolutely, brother. They get that stomach burn shit.
Someone died recently
Who?
in a hot dog eating contest.
Oh,
as
didn't
well.
they have a
Yeah.
pierced stomach or something?
Yeah, something
Did they?
happened. Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't happen tomorrow. It's on Netflix. So that's what Blanksy. What about Blanksy's life? Just travelling around the world.
I was
So
going to
he's
ask him
there
where
then.
this ranks because he does Kentucky Derby. I saw him in Kentucky.
That's right.
Wimbledon.
Yeah.
He goes all around the country just having fun.
So you're across Brad Blanks as well. I didn't know who you know about
yeah,
him.
everyone knows him. Blanksy. He's
yeah.
good mates with Hutchie. He's got the biggest head nearly in the world.
But he's been living in America. At one point, he lived out of a hotel, and all he does is go to these events. He's got the dream life.
He stood up in an interview one day and scared Adam Sandler. Like scared the life out of him because he's so big.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Made famous by Hamish and Andy, I think. That
Hamish
they
and
used to
Andy.
deploy him all around the world doing different
That's right.
things.
And
That's
Ricky
right.
Gervais sort of took him under his
Yeah,
arm.
absolutely.
They speak like old friends now.
There's just this random Aussie guy that lives overseas and does stuff for people.
Yeah.
Right?
But on top of all that, he's clumsy as to look like he's a bumbling, beautiful man.
He loves a
he's
punt.
beauty. Oh, well, he was there.
Does he?
He was there the day
That's why you
Snapdance
know.
won her first feature.
That's right.
The Gold Coast Magic
Yes.
Greens, and of course, Film Me celebrating and then burning someone that went for the big high five.
I remember.
And then we put it on our socials.
Brad Blanks.
Brad Blanks. What a
He's
rip. We'll
coming
chat
up.
to him soon. What about the Christian Petrarca situation?
Someone explain.
I'm so confused
Yeah.
by everything Melbourne have done in the last 12 to 18 months, but this is just like weird. So what's happened?
Yeah.
Well, I think that what's happened, I think eventually Christian's come to the conclusion that he's not going to be traded away from Melbourne. Melbourne have made it very clear. It feels to me as if Christian absolutely wants the standard of the Melbourne Footy Club to lift, though. And
Which you
where-
can't blame him for.
Can't blame him for that.
So
Obviously,
it's a shot
There's been a
across
lot
the
of his-
bow, or he's half serious?
No, I think it's a shot across the bow. They've got to lift their game. He's known for being quite professional, or very professional, and I reckon that he's had some frustrations with the footy club. So I think that that's probably where it really stemmed from. There's no question about that. And also, too, probably the miscommunication about after his injury, when he was in hospital and then he went to Noosa recover, the miscommunication to his fellow teammates about why he was up in Noosa, which you can understand. And that's a great problem with footy clubs. Great footy clubs, great communicators on and off the field, dog. Ordinary footy clubs, ordinary footy communicators on and off the field.
Yeah, and look, he's obviously their best player, maybe potentially a future leader of that footy club. It's been a bit of a PR nightmare, hasn't it? And I don't know if the leaks were intended or, you know, player managers were speaking out of school or whatnot, but it's probably not what you want from Christian's side of things, from Melbourne's side of things.
No.
It's been a distraction.
Absolutely, it's been a distraction. It might be the catalyst, though. It might be the kick up the arse they need. And, you know, I dare say that Melbourne probably floated the brand Petrarca theory, or they were certainly, maybe whether they cultivated it, or they certainly didn't distinguish it, did they?
No.
They didn't want to distinguish it, so maybe that was sort of put a little bit of pressure on Christian, so he probably wouldn't be happy with that, and obviously there'd be parts from the Melbourne Footy Club, they wouldn't be happy about some of Christian's behaviour as well. So
He's just thrown away his hope of ever being captain of that footy club. He can never be the captain of that footy club, having, done all this and everything's been aired about it. It's just, it shoots all down all hope of
I'll
that.
tell you a story about Ryan O'Keefe, the Sydney Swan star.
Rock.
The Rock, quite a few years ago.
Brother of Andrew O'Keefe.
Nah, I'm not sure. It might be a long way down the family tree there, but related at some
He did a
stage.
deal late in his career with Duracell.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was a 31 days of sex with a condom. It was really weird
Okay,
Sorry?
interesting.
for an old
I'll
guy.
have to have a look
That's interesting.
that
Who
up.
did?
He,
Ryan O'Keefe?
Yep.
Is that a fact?
Mate,
Yep.
one of the great humpers.
Yep.
So he had to, use one every day for 31 days?
Well, I don't know. I just remember he
Couldn't stop him.
He was posting about. It was linked to it. He did a deal.
The
Are you
Jackrabbit.
sure about this?
Yes, I would never speak out of
Okay.
school about
Oh.
that.
What's Duracell? Hang on, Duracell and condom.
Duracell is the condom, right?
Duracell's a battery, brother.
Duracell's
Durex
a
you're thinking
battery.
of. You're thinking of Durex.
Durex. Yeah, Durex.
Duracell's a battery.
Ansell.
Ansell is a dinger.
Yeah, I've got Durex and Ansell.
We used to share a
combined.
building with Ansell.
Yeah, we did too. Yeah, free rubbers. Am
Am I right?
It's like the Olympic Village down there walking out.
Brody's found it.
He's actually right.
I know. Who was it for?
Durex.
Durex, not Duracell. He was.
Mate, you had me confused there for a minute. I'm thinking, surely Rock's not putting that on social media. Then he's going to try and have a shag every day for 31 days.
It was an amazing. I remember I got offered to do that deal. I couldn't have knocked it back quickly enough.
Well, just remember though.
Wow.
This is astonishing.
What kind of cash do you get offered for that? Anyway, back to
50K,
you.
I reckon it was.
We're sidetracked.
I
John,
lost
go.
my train of thought, but
O'Keefe.
Ryan O'Keefe wanted out.
Yeah.
And I think he may have wanted to get to Hawthorn.
Yep.
And then Sydney Swan said no. So obviously he had to go back to the footy club and do pre-season. Well, 12 months later, he was best on ground in the grand final. He won the Norm Smith medal against that very team.
Yep.
Sydney v Hawthorn in the 2012 grand final. So these wounds can be healed pretty quick. Petrarca can come back in. He can really embrace the boys. They could have a good year, and I think they can bounce back pretty well. And if he had a great season, who's to say he couldn't be captain at the end of the year when Max wants to step aside? And Max has probably still got a few years left in him, to be honest. He still had a great year as All-Australian.
He's a god.
Captain again. But don't you reckon, the footy world moves on pretty quick, Brown Dog?
And it's if you come out and you play good footy, it's forgotten about. But yeah, look, he'll need to win over his teammates first and foremost. If there's been that miscommunication, some of them might be upset with whatever reasons. Win the players back, get back out there, play good footy. Melbourne, play finals next year. He plays well. It's all forgotten about.
That's right. And he's not a brooding type character. No. He's pretty energetic, fun-loving character. He's in Broads. He comes in and does the radio.
Yeah, he's very good value, and as you say, he's incredibly professional, both on the field and off the field, and he knows what he's talking about, and he's very straight down the line.
Would
so
you
know what you're
describe
getting.
him as a fun-loving son of a bitch?
He's a good man.
Right on.
And I hazard a guess, Broads, tell me if I'm wrong here, I hazard a guess that the explosion of his cooking videos, which have just really started out as amateur
They've changed
stuff
the game, mate.
during COVID.
He's the best to do it.
But the explosion of that has probably led to people saying it's all about Bram Petrarca.
Yeah, people have been saying that, definitely.
That's
What sort of-
Australia. You can't be a fucking personality in this country if you're a sportsman.
What sort of
without
chef?
people jumping down your throat.
Yeah.
What sort of chef do you think he models his cooking? I mean, he's not a Gordon Ramsay.
He's a
operator.
Huey. He's a Huey, brother.
He's certainly not a
Huey.
He's not an Evans. That guy that went up to Mount.
Pete
Byron
Evans.
Bay Pete. He's not
No,
that sort of
Greenie.
operator.
It might be Nigella Lawson.
Oh,
Yeah.
my. What a woman.
Did we ever tell you that the time that Dino, we interviewed Nigella Lawson on the radio?
You asked her a question you shouldn't have.
Yeah,
Yes.
man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, we were told under any circumstances.
I've got to hear, John. John, I've got to hear.
Under any circumstances, do not bring up her previous history with maybe stepping across the line with narcotics.
Hey, Nigella, have you ever cooked with weed?
No.
Okay, sure.
That's it.
She couldn't have shut it down quicker. No.
Mate, we were told, mate, only a minute before that. Dino leads with the question.
Did that make the air, or you have to edit it out?
Absolutely, mate. That was our show. It was very
Not
loose.
happy, but anyway, yeah. So it'll be interesting. It won to 5, but we know Petrarca's going to stay. It was also tossed up that potentially he might wait 12 months and then leave. But if he come out and had a great year, Melbourne had a great year, I'm not sure that sort of carries on.
Hey, ads back in a second, don't move. Welcome back to Brownies Podcast. We're going to cross live to America to speak to Brad Blanks, who's at the World Championship, Hot Dog Championship eating comp.
In Vegas.
Is it in Vegas this year?
Vegas, absolutely.
Beautiful.
Brown Doggy, we should have sent you across there.
Mate, you'd
Absolutely.
be great at that.
Blanksy.
With the big budget we've got here on Brownie's podcast, I'm not surprised. That we did it.
Huge budget. Just, hey, Oasis.
Yes!
Are you an
Liam
Oasis?
and Noel.
Are you an Oasis man?
I like the song.
What one song?
Yeah, their main song.
Wonderwall.
Wonderwall.
Yeah,
Mate, that's a basic bitch answer.
I know.
They got better stuff than that.
I liked it when they fought more. Now that they're back being brotherly, you know.
Well, they still hate each other.
Do they?
You get no doubts. But this, mate, it's a
money
chance
grab.
to get out there and just get the cash. They've seen what Taylor Swift
Mate.
ripped out of the public. They've gone out and thought, geez, I can get $1 or $2 here.
I reckon 7 years ago they said, hey, in 2025 we'll do it. Go live your life until then. There's probably not a feud. But who, regardless.
I've been to an Oasis concert.
What? So
it was
have I.
at Brisbane Entertainment Centre. It was a hot box, like being in a sauna there. But gee, a lot of British backpackers off their heads.
Mate.
Yeah, it wasn't a great experience. I want to see Oasis
Yeah, man.
live
Yep.
in a stadium.
I planted the seed with you and Pang that we're going. And do you believe that we are?
To their hometown in Manchester. That'd be pretty cool.
We're going, man.
Oh, yeah? You like them?
Yeah, mate. I'll get to why I'm talking about them. So, but Beck, as one of the younger people in the room,
Yes,
do you know who they are?
of course. Wonderwall, well, it goes off, but like everyone knows that song, so...
Have they got another? What's the second best?
Have they got another?
Half a world away? Like,
Come on!
come on.
Morning Glory.
Oh,
They
yeah.
used to use that on SEN. You
I
would
wake
have
up
done
with one of
SEN.
them every morning.
Thank you, dog. Champagne Supernova.
Champagne
Oh, yeah, in the sky.
The one I like, Dino.
Yes.
Especially in the off-season, cigarettes and alcohol.
Come on!
What a song that is.
Anyway, on
Acquiesce.
Backchat, Dan and Scuzzy's podcast Backchat,
Yeah.
the CEO of the Giants, Dave Matthews, went on and told a story about Sheeds being in a box with Liam Gallagher. And he didn't know who it was. Sheeds didn't know who Gallagher was. So they found out he might be there on the way there. So Sheeds listened to some Oasis. And one of the best quotes was, he listened to Don't Look Back in Anger, and he was quite moved. And he said to Dave Matthews, Sheeds said, where was this song when Essendon sacked me? How good's that?
Yes, I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But then on Backchat, by the way, such a good podcast. Our friends at
Yes,
Backchat,
love
Dan
Backchat,
and
boys.
Scuzzy. This is Dave Matthews talking about the moment Liam Gallagher and Sheeds sort of got in each other's orbit in the box.
She says, how's your brother going? And I'm like, oh no, what are you doing? Didn't we agree on that? And Gallagher said, I'll tell you how he's going. He's in a box over there with Tom Cruise. And I'm here with you geezer.
So they're trading barbs, Liam and Sheeds
great.
in a box, and then it continues.
And he said, look, you want to know how my brother's going? You know, we're getting offered a lot of money to get back together and play again. Sheed says, no, I don't care about your music. I don't even know it. I'm just saying life's short, mate. Build a bridge with your brother. You've got to get back together. You know, you need to... And do it out of the spotlight. Just reconnect, mate. You know,
Great advice.
I've dealt with my own family and I've dealt with a lot of families, and I just think it's a huge mistake you're making. And everyone's like... Gallagher said something like, you know what, I've engaged 5 lawyers and I'm paying them a lot of money and no one's given me any advice as good as that.
How good is that?
So Sheeds is the reason
He's
that
the
they're
reason.
back.
Brother!
Well, maybe we need to go through Sheets to get some tickets.
Yeah.
Hey, stop
Hey.
Ticketmaster or one of those back agencies.
I know.
Yeah,
How
it's-
good's that? I love it. I don't even know your music. And also the point of doing it out of the spotlight, because that's real. If you do some kind of faux makeup in the spotlight,
Yeah.
it feels grimy.
Yeah, it's hard, you know, to communicate over Twitter
Yeah,
if you're
yes.
trying to build a bridge.
Is Sheedy quite metaphorical and like existential in the way you deal with him? Like he seems quite like, I don't know, talks in metaphors and stuff a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
he's been any man that survives 30 years as a senior AFL coach must be doing something right. He's got to grab their players and different generations with different techniques, don't they?
He's
So-
a bit eclectic. Yeah, he thinks outside of the box a bit, and that's very worldly advice.
He
He's
coached me old man at Essendon. Yeah, when Dad went to Essendon just for a year, he said Sheeds was so far ahead of every other coach.
Really?
Unbelievable. Yeah. At that stage, he was well ahead, years ahead, and obviously they went on to win those couple of flags in 84 and 85. But the way he was able to change throughout his career, that's why he lasted so
Yeah,
long.
he took me to Ireland in 06, Sheets, as my coach.
No shit.
Yeah, good, great man.
He was our assistant coach during
Yes,
the state game,
yes.
2008. So, no, it was all good.
Are we ready to call America?
Let's go.
That's it. The great Bradley Blanks.
This man
love
doesn't
him.
miss an event.
I love him.
I want to know how he gets away with it.
He's missed our phone call 6 times, though.
I think I've got a pretty good leg rope in terms of what I am allowed to get away with. He
Pick up.
plays me on a break.
You wonderful bastard. Pick up.
Is it coming up as private?
If he doesn't pick up, we'll just call Sticks. Hey, apparently there was a huge brawl in the AFLW. Bro, what
It was great to see. And we don't see it enough in the men's game. It was Sydney-Collingwood. There was two in succession, about 10 seconds apart, massive hits, essentially almost off the ball, like late to the ball. And then just an absolute melee erupted. And it was pretty much an all-in. I reckon there was 18 or 19 players.
Good enough.
And all over the field. Separate fights going on, tussles. Oh, it's great to see. Spot fires everywhere.
So what's going to happen there, the fine system, because obviously the girls aren't paid as well as the boys are.
Yeah.
Fines, they got a fine system?
Yep, they're all going to be fined. I think the review officer will scrutinise at least 40 separate incidents.
Yeah, there's melees all weekend. There was another good one between North Melbourne and Brisbane as well, which tempers flared.
North Melbourne belted Brisbane.
Yeah.
Brisbane are
At
defending
Springfield.
premiers up at Springfield in the hot condition. Good effort by North. They wouldn't be used to those
The
conditions.
Eagles girls got up by a point too.
Daisy Pearce made her debut as the coach.
Yes, mate. 1 point win. It's huge.
And that was good. I tell you what, another great effort by the Hawthorn star Brown Dog, which you'd be across. Greta Bodie, Hawks beat Carlton actually by about it was about 38 points. So that was
Good
a
game,
effort.
that. I actually watched it. The Hawthorn are good.
Hawthorn are good. And Greta Brody, good effort to turn up and play. She, during the week, she was walking her dog Ted, looked like a red heeler, and Teddy got in a blue with another dog.
Shit.
When the lead snapped, and she was on. So Greta's had to go in and separate him. And, mate, she's got hit on the way in. Ended up ripping her hand open. Had to go and have surgery after that.
Really?
Had surgery during the week, and then has got out there and played.
Great effort.
Now that's courage.
Mate, only Hawks players who do that sort of stuff.
Well, I tell you what, I've been through that myself as a young fella.
Is that?
Young fella, I had to separate greyhound. Two greyhounds got into a massive fight. I threw a bone in there. She give them a bone for their teeth health every month. And I just threw it in there and away they went. Ripped into it. So I went in there. I was a little bit wet behind the ears. I've gone in there with my hands to try and separate them. Naive. Always stick the slipper in to protect the hands.
Yeah.
In a dog fight, I've gone in, bang, got grabbed. One of the dogs started munching on my arm, thought it was the bone. And I went out, cried. Now, in fairness,
You cried?
Yeah, he cried. He had to cry.
I was 12 years old.
It's fine.
Yeah, well, I would have thought better of you than that.
But I ran
Even at 12.
ran out of the dog yard, ran back up to me nan's place, crying, ran in the door. She said all she can remember is me saying, Nan, me footy career's over. It's all over.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So I had to have surgery that night.
Oh, no.
And my dear mother Mary, she was the was the nurse that was looking after me. So
And he's never cried since.
Never cried.
It's the last
Well,
time
he
he cried.
can't
Right up.
because his tear ducts got smashed.
and what did Greta Bodie do? She didn't cry. She went out, she kicked a couple of goals to the Mighty Hawks
Hey,
and got a
speaking
moment of
of
victory.
the footy, did I read somewhere that there's a big offer on the table for Mac Andrews?
Mac Andrews.
Like a Buddy Franklin-esque contract?
Well, I'm going to throw it out there. Tom Morris said today on the radio, and Tommy's sources are very good. He doesn't miss much, Tommy.
Yes.
He said that he's been offered $12 million over 8 years.
What? Jesus.
Didn't say what club it was, but you could probably try and work it out. Obviously, some clubs towards the bottom of the ladder and got a fair bit
you
of
think
salary
he's that
cap
good a
space.
player to get a deal like that?
He's a star.
He's
but
played 40-odd games.
These young stars, especially if you are key position players, you're going to get inflated contracts. There's been an explosion in the salary cap. That's increasing a fair bit. Player movement, and we all know that at the end of the day, if players are on contract, you can still get to other clubs if you really try and force if the player really wants to go, a club will do a deal. So,
John, that says they want to market
That's
stuff
crazy.
around him like he's going to be their face.
That's crazy.
Well, he can
Whatever
play-
club.
Brand Andrew.
Brand Andrew.
he's a good forward, he's a good defender, and he's a good second ruckman. So
Yeah,
he
but
can
he's
play
only
multiple
good.
positions.
He's only good. He's not great. yet.
Oh no, I think he's got
Dog,
potential
you're very
too.
anti-Mac.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not anti-Mac. I just think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my buddy
Yeah.
got offered that to go to the Swans, but he'd already kicked 100 goals in a season, won Coleman's and premierships. Mac Andrews is still got to put on a bit of weight.
So do you think
He's
now-
skinny.
An
Yes.
unknown entity at this point.
Yeah.
He's skinny.
So it's 1.5. He's got a fair bit of mongrel in him. So he's competitive. I love his competitiveness.
Can go forward and back.
I rate him. I think he's going to be a star. 1.5 over 8 years, that equates to.
Well, it's
So does
just-
that tell you that Harley Reid's going to be the first $2 million player? Or
Shit.
is it inflated because Mac is a key position player?
Yeah. I think it's inflated.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
So-
I mean, that's the market. Good luck to him.
Good luck to him,
I think,
absolutely.
yeah, what I've seen of him has been very good.
Yeah.
But are you going to be throwing those sort of numbers, that length of contract for, like you said, an unknown quantity? Yes, there's a lot of potential there. He's athletically very gifted. But, geez, that's big time money. You know, you want an established star,
And
really.
he should be playing at Melbourne. So he was in their next generation academy, and because they changed the rules prior to him being drafted, Melbourne missed out on him. So Melbourne are still complaining that they missed out on him, because he
Really?
would have been at Melbourne and would have been a generational player there.
Yeah.
I actually think the 1.5 will work out to be all right down the track, because 1.5 at the back end of that deal won't be a huge amount. Let's say in the context of the plays, so that might be only top 50 players in 8 years. They reckon like the 1.5. So if Mac Andrews at that stage of his career is 28 years old and he's a star of the competition, you go, and he's a key position player, you go, actually that's pretty good value. So a bit like the Buddy deal. You think Buddy was overpaid.
At the start,
Alistair
but then-
Lynch was overpaid at the start, but by the end of it you go, shit, that's relatively cheap. So it's an interesting one to watch. So what about Sam Doherty? Do you play Sam Doherty after 27 weeks out with an ACL this Saturday night against the Brisbane Lions of the Gabba? It's been floated.
Is
and
it his
more and
last
more
year?
It sounds likely.
What's his contract? Doherty's contract? Is
No, he's still got some left,
Still
but
got time to run.
it's a very quick return from such a serious injury.
Well, I
And
actually think he did the knee, didn't he, in the first game? So
Up there,
it was
wasn't it?
opening round up at the Gabba. He started in the midfield. So that'd be an amazing return, wouldn't it? Do
Yeah.
you play him?
Well-
He is one of the captains, or a former captain. He's one of their leaders.
It's a big call, isn't it? They haven't been going great. They're going to be bringing a lot of players back from injury. How many's too many? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to be bringing in, half a dozen players. Some of them are obviously going to be a little bit underdone. They've
Yeah.
missed a bit of footy. It's a final. I would lean away from bringing in Sam Doherty. But I don't think sentiment plays a role in football at all. I'm just one of those guys.
It's interesting. I've sort of been torn with this one. I think, is it worth the uplift for the group? Because there's no doubt it would give him a lift. I liken it to 2 weeks ago when Dyson Heppel didn't play his 200th in front of that home crowd. I don't know. This is obviously very subjective, but you feel as if that had an effect on the playing group. As you go the other way, and you think Sam Doherty, this could be a real positive uplift for the group. And you go, okay, mate, is it worth rolling the dice, taking the risk?
So the first game back would be finals intensity on that knee.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Well, and then you got to sum up the future.
Yeah.
You go, is it a risk worth taking? Because what's the likelihood Carlton's going to win the flag? Very unlikely, but you could also lose one of your better players for next year as well. So on the balance of that and all the stuff you spoke about, Brown Dog, I'd nearly say, nah, we're not going to run the dice. Roll the dice.
John, Carlton could end your year this weekend.
They could.
I doubt it.
But I don't think they will. I think the tough thing for Brisbane will be planning for Carlton with 6 or 7 changes, because it's going to be very unlike the team they've fielded the last few weeks. But just remember, they've only beaten North Melbourne and West Coast in the last 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So they played on tremendous heart last week, and what they need to do, if they tackle as well as Vossi tackled last week when he chased that bloke over and stole the car, they're a chance.
Hey, no surprises. Every game's sold out. You get a port ticket, brother? You going Adelaide? You're not a fan.
Oh, I tried, and I tried hard too, but also have work on the Friday, so they probably wouldn't be like...
Doggies Hawks. Tell me you're doing a cashy or something there,
I'll
brother.
be there. Yeah, I'll be there.
That's going to be huge.
It'll be massive. Yeah, it'll be 90,000 people there. It's going to be a big game, and 2 informed sides. Like I know that they're not top 4 sides, but the form of the Doggies and Hawthorn in the back end of the season is as good as anyone's.
Yes.
So I think the Hawks can go really deep into September. Which would be great for when I'm moving tickets and doing deals.
You think or you hope?
It's too late for me to ask you to get me Doggies Hawks tickets, isn't it, brother?
It is, mate.
Oh, that's
I'm sorry.
bullshit.
Yeah, I apologise.
You're a legend of the game.
My uncle beat you 2 days ago.
This is
So
bullshit.
out of nowhere, I thought those tickets were just going to sit there.
How many calls do you guys get in around grand final? Like, oh, mate, you wouldn't have any tickets, would you? How many people come out of the woodwork?
A lot. A hell of a
A few
lot.
did last year because Brisbane were in it. So
Yeah.
they got access to it.
50?
What's the
50
most
people.
What's the most audacious request ticket volume wise? Like, oh dog, can you just get us?
Like some people just say, like, I'll take as many as you can get.
What does
So
that
we
even
don't
mean?
we don't put a number on it.
Yeah.
And they're hard to get, mate. They're really hard to get. Back in the day, I used to, be able to get some. And
Depends what year it is. I remember Hawthorn Fremantle. I was happy to flick off a couple. Mate, couldn't give them away.
Yeah.
Hawthorn Fremantle, for some reason, just didn't end up a big draw. Some grand finals end up a lot of demand.
Yeah.
Other grand finals, especially there's an interstate team
If it's,
involved.
imagine GWS Port Adelaide, for example. Mate,
Big disaster.
You could buy tickets anywhere. You could buy tickets at Nando's across the road.
Well,
Yeah.
mate, there was a lot of flat people in the sellers market when GWS upset Collingwood in 2019.
Oh,
yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been a Richmond-Collingwood grand final.
Yeah.
Mate, the sellers' market was devastating.
It's like Wall Street. There's a bull market and there's a bear market, and that year was a bear market. The prices plummeted.
Jonathan, you heard that the seller market was flat. That's all you heard.
All I'll say is me and Brown Dog had a drink that night, and Brown Dog was a bit flat. Anyway, can we get Blanksy?
Let's try one more time, Rose. Can you hit the button? I think I stuffed it up. It'd be a real shame not to get the
Are we doing the
correspondent.
podcast Thursday this week?
Thursday
I
it
think
is.
we're going to have to put our necks on the line. We're going to have to come up with our grand final prediction on Thursday, righto?
Done.
Let's see if it stands the test of time.
Come on, Blanks.
Vegas can do this to you. 1 minute you're okay.
Is he a party man?
You'll take a call.
Hey, Blanks!
How are
It
you,
was
great man?
worth the wait.
Oh, no, sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry. I was in the middle of watching a college football game. I'm in the sports book, and you know what it's like, Campbell. When you run through Vegas, it's madness.
It certainly is one of my favourite places on earth. Have you made your way to the Cosmopolitan, that beautiful hotel?
Yes. Well, I'm at the Aria, so I'm out the back of it. I was at the Aria swimming pool, which is a bunch of middle-aged people there, which is very nice too. We have bodies as well, and they have bodies. It's good to have a look. But I will go to the Cosmopolitan and pay homage to yourself when I ground myself to that
Blanks.
pool tomorrow.
Blanks and Stino, does your wife have any reason to be concerned about your gambling in Vegas?
Well, gambling, yeah. Why did everyone bring up my wife? Yeah. Look, I'm not going. Yes, she's a great missus, and I do everything right by her. But the wheels have fallen off the gambling wagon. It does add up when you mix your genres of gambling. I wanted to do the UFC Dana strategy of blackjack. He says you walk in hard, you bet hard and quick, and then you get out with blackjack. That doesn't work so well when you lose. I've done that on 3 separate occasions, all in record time. So I'm down on that. And I said, well, I'm pretty good at the horses. So I walked around and started betting on Monmouth and Kentucky Downs, and that didn't go so well.
Jesus, Blanks!
I'm getting my ass handed to me on the punt.
Hard and fast sounds like my love life.
Another day.
Mate, you need the Gold Coast Turf Club where Snap Dancer ran to victory paying about $20, Blanksy.
Oh, what a show that was. Oh, my goodness. That was, I think we jumped. It was the highest I've ever jumped. Into your arms, I think I jumped. And, wasn't, geez, that was... and then that was the last time I bet it, and the thing went out and won another 3 times and won a massive Group 1, right?
That's right.
God, I love this man.
Yeah.
I model my life on Blanksy. He took me under his wing many, many, many years ago, and I thought to myself, how can I possibly start to live a life like Blanksy, where you not only go to all these great events around the world, but you get paid to do them. And I've seen him. We've crossed paths at Kentucky Derby. We've crossed paths at Royal Ascot. We've crossed paths at Lords, Wimbledon, all these great places.
I got to tell you, it does. Mate, it does bring a tear to my eye to watch you work now. So, your energy is beautiful. And I think it was that Radio Row. Remember, you got the boxer in a headlock.
That's right.
Like with Wilder, wasn't it? Wilder.
Yeah, Deontay Wilder. I nearly put him to sleep. That was in Houston, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes, it was. That's right. And I'm like, geez, you were oiling it beautiful, the floor. I like your style. And so, well done, mate. We've got many good times ahead
Blanks.
of it. In the road.
This your latest.
And then Brownie, you were good. Brownie was good in LA. Very mature.
Yeah.
You're on that mission.
Yes.
The Ram Stadium there.
That's right, with the lilac shirt.
That's right, the lilac shirt, and then we got up into the corporate box. That was magnificent. So what event are you about to do, Blanksy? Run us through it.
Yeah, this is a good one. All right, so courtesy of Netflix, they've flown me out here to be a part of this event. Right, this is Joey Chestnut versus Kobayashi, the two greatest ever competitive eaters in the history of our planet.
Bone crusher, our Waverley star.
That's right, they are of eating hot dogs. And on Netflix tomorrow, they're going live around the world. There'll be people in caves in Afghanistan watching this monumental moment of this Japanese fella he'd weigh Brownie's leg. I reckon this guy would weigh, and he's competing against Chestnut, he doesn't weigh. He weighs about 100. He weighs about 80 kilos or 90 kilos. Joey Chestnut. They're going head to head. In 10 minutes of eating hot dogs. They're not allowed to put them in the water. They've got to eat them without the water because you notice in other hot dog contests they sort of wet the bun. So this is going to be an amazing 10 minutes in sport tomorrow live from Las Vegas.
Blanks, I reckon they should do a live ultrasound of their stomachs as they're filling up. That'd be unbelievable.
That would be good watching.
Be unbelievable. And he's like that Kobayashi guy. I mean, he's been off the boil since about 2010. But in 2005 in New York City, he was so famous from winning that July 4th title, and then Chestnut came up and just dominated the next decade. And I'm sitting there, I interviewed Kobayashi today, and he's only a little fella, a tiny little guy. I kind of felt sorry for him. He used to be this superstar, and he's just this little fella trying to earn a buck, like all of us out here in Vegas. So I hope he goes all right tomorrow.
Is it a bit like Dipper on the Cashy circuit?
The Cashy, well, it's, yes. I think that's how these competitive eaters get paid, I guess. Job.
What's the chance, Blanksy, of... What number are you expecting? Because Joey Chestnut's done 76 hot dogs with the buns in 10 minutes. Now, he was allowed to use water. What's your expectation of how many dogs go down by either Joey or Kobayashi?
I think Joey's going to wipe him, poor old Kobayashi. He'll be crying again tomorrow. But but Chestnut reckons he can do 76. Now, I asked him that, and he said, no, these dogs are fast. And I said, they're fast dogs? He goes, yes, we have fast dogs. And I tried to understand what the words fast dogs mean, and it's the fact that they're in a room, they're in a controlled environment, whereas 4th of July out in Brooklyn, I think they left the dogs out there all morning. I went to it this year. It's disgusting. The hot dogs just sit out there on a flat, in 40 degrees Celsius weather, and he says they get quite rubbery and they're quite hard to eat.
Jesus.
He thinks they're fast dogs. I don't reckon. I'm with you guys. I think he's going to do 55 because of the lack of wetting the bun.
Yeah.
That could be the issue.
Fast dogs. I thought we were talking about the Hillsville Straight there, not dog eating contest. Hey, Blanksy, now you interview all the big celebs on the red carpet, and not only do you interview them, you become quite good friends with some of them. Talk us through someone of high A-list material that you've sort of become really close with.
Well, I'd have to say the closest one would be Ricky Gervais.
Yes.
And that's only because he's fascinated with the circumference of my head. And, I sort of have this round, there's a round thing on every part of my head, and he just looks at it and laughs at it. And I take that fine. I'm fine with that. That's good. But we've had some great interviews. In one interview back in 2010, I went head to head. We went head to head in abusing each other, and the big line to him that I beat him with was, "You were funnier when you were fat." and he knew. He goes, "Yeah, you got me there. That's a good line there, Blake."
Blanks, you are a miracle. We could not love you anymore. Can you do the proper Netflix plug?
Say that again, sorry.
Can you do the full plug for the Hot Dog Championship on Netflix?
Oh, yes, sorry, thank you. I better do the right thing. Yes, it's Netflix, and I'm going to calculate the time for you guys. That'll be Melbourne time. That'll be wow, that'll be 5 a.m.
Worth it.
I want to wake up and watch that.
Worth it.
For sure.
Yeah, worth it. Come on, guys. It's a global experience. Get up, watch your Netflix. That'll be Tuesday morning. And see Kobayashi versus Joey Chestnut, who is a legend of the game. He's on the Mount Rushmore of sports. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Gretzky, and Chestnut. There you go.
And what about, before we let you go, Blanksy, Campbell Brown's mark on the Mount Rushmore of sports? Has that made it all the way to America?
Yes, made it to America.
Big.
It was the thud that was heard around the world when it landed. It's mentally everyone's been there as a dodgy seconds Cobram Football Club seconds player myself. If I got off the ground a foot, it was all about landing. But Campbell, you flew there. It was beautiful. But in the moment, as you watch this as a fan of that incredible mark, is when you hit the turf. It's like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I saw my back still out, Blanksy. I certainly wasn't landing like Simone Biles, that's for sure.
Mate, good luck over there.
It's great to see you out there. Good stuff, mate.
Good
Thanks,
luck
Blanksy.
over there, Blanksy. We love your work. We'll talk to you real soon, mate.
Yeah, thank you. All right, have a great show, fellas. See ya.
Thanks, Blanksy.
Blanks. Ads back in a second. Welcome back to Brownie's podcast. Time for
What a world. Now, when you go to hospital, you expect the very best of treatment, don't you? So, after a forestry accident in January, a 33-year-old was airlifted to Graz University Hospital in Austria. All right? Severe head injuries. The man required emergency surgery, during which time, while he was getting attended to by the doctor allegedly allowed his 13-year-old daughter to help participate in the operation. Reports indicate that the young girl even drilled holes in the patient's skull.
Stop it.
All through the surgery, right? Although the surgery was a success, the patient remains unable to work. It wasn't until April that an anonymous complaint was filed with the Public Prosecution's Office regarding the incident. An alleged victim was informed by the police. As a result of the investigation, the surgeon and other staff members, a specialist who was present during the operation, have been dismissed. How would you feel if you're going for emergency surgery and the
daughter's got the Ryobi in her hand.
Dog, it's like if you're a farmer, you let your kid steer the tractor.
the work experience kid?
But it's a skull. He's drilling into a skull.
So I read that and I went, Jesus Christ, while the operation was a success, the patient died. No, that's a joke, but what a world.
What a world. That's a good what a world, too.
All right, degenerates, so we'll be back later in the week. We're going to give our grand final predictions. We're going to start picking apart these games. Thursday, is that right?
It is.
All right. Peace.
Enjoy it.